Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the Cloud Leadership Circle monthly meetup. It's wonderful to see you all here. And for anyone who's new here, this is a community for technical leaders to sharpen their thinking, connect across domains, and discuss the real issues that are driving our industry forward. But without further ado, I would like to kick us off today and introduce our first speaker. We have Rusty Atkinson here with us, and I want to hand it over to you, Rusty.
We're going to talk about technology today. Talking to Megan in preparation for this, she said, leadership's a big part of what this group is responsible for, and maybe it'd be nice to focus on some leadership topics. So let's take a quick minute and let me tell you a little bit about who I am, give you a little context for our conversation today. I've been a paid geek since 1994. I've been doing this a little while, worked with lots of different companies, big companies, little companies, high tech, across many spectrums. I've been in healthcare. I think I found a home in healthcare. I've been in healthcare for the last couple of gigs. CIO at Signify before CVS bought them, and I am head of technology at Clearway Health today. And I've seen something I think you all have seen throughout the years. I have seen pockets of really great leadership through the years, but tiny pockets and seas of great examples of things that I don't want to be and I don't want to do. And it's seeing that for years and years and years that caused me to focus, admittedly, more time than I expected in writing a book that will be coming out next month called The Integrity Edge. A second about what the Integrity Edge is, because I'm going to build on that in our discussion today. Integrity in leadership, I'm going to argue, you don't see it commonly. You see it sometimes. It's not a complete aberration, but you don't see it every day. It doesn't happen automatically. It's something that you have to focus on, be intentional about. But when you do it, when you lead with integrity, there's an edge. It brings a certain something that you can't get if you're leading selfishly. That edge is what the Integrity Edge is about. But while I do talk about the edge, it's important to say, well, if it's not automatic and you got to be intentional, then what's the intentionality? What do you need to be intentional about? And so in the Integrity Edge, I outlined 6 common pitfalls that even well-meaning leaders can trip on. And if they trip on them, it's the thing that causes them to gradually drift from this path of high character leadership to find themselves where we see lots of folks these days. And if you can recognize those pitfalls, then you have a chance of avoiding them and having that career of ethical leadership. And
Cloud Leadership Circle is brought to you by Unshakable Ventures, a leading provider of expert recruitment services. Whether you are starting out or scaling up, Unshakable Ventures recruitment solutions will give you access to expert recruiters who will find the right fit every time. Contact Unshakable Ventures today for a free consultation to build your dream team.
So we're going to spend a few minutes talking about trust. And I picked trust for this conversation because it's the foundation on which high character leadership is built. I would argue that it's the foundation on which effective leadership is built. But for sure, if you have an intention of being a high character leader, it's the foundation of that. And so we're going to talk about 5 practical habits. Practical, you might use as a synonym for obvious, simple, clear habits that if you do these things, it doesn't guarantee that you'll build a culture and a team and a leadership methodology that's foundation is trust, but it'll give you a better chance. The first one's about modeling the way. It's the quotes that you'll see on each of these 5 are from my book. But the modeling the way is the opposite of do as I say, not as I do, right? Which I don't know about you, but I heard my parents say that when I was growing up. And I see that in the actions of leaders through the years. Behavior sets the tone for your team. We all have to work from the office, you say, on a Monday, and then you don't show up to the office until Wednesday. Don't expect a group of folks who trust you if you are telling them to do one thing and then you do the next thing. And the thing about modeling the way, this isn't the thing that you do on a Monday afternoon and then expect to receive benefits from it for the next 3 months. This is consistency. Consistency is the key in modeling the way. You can model the way 9 times, and the 10th time when you contradict your words with your actions, that's the thing that gets remembered. So modeling the way, doing so consistently, and in each of these, I'll be leaving behind a challenge, just something to think about. And for the model the way is, consider actions that you are preaching about that you're not practicing. The second habit is about showing up when it's hard. And this has a double meaning. Showing up when it's hard insofar as doing the hard thing, like the top performer on your team who is toxic to the team. And not ignoring it because, man, I really like the output from this person, but digging in and jumping into that hard place to show the rest of the team that you're here for the whole team, not just the high toxic performer. That's the one way I mean by showing up. I also mean showing up when it's hard, literally showing up when it's hard. You got the team on an overnight change, and you know they're going to be heads down from 10 o'clock p.m. to 7 o'clock a.m. Show up at midnight on the war bridge. Be there. Help them understand that you do care. It's not just with your words, but it's with your actions too. Challenge you to think about where you might be pulling back. Where are you avoiding because it's just uncomfortable? How are they going to react to me? Or I just don't want to deal with this thing. Find those places. Lean into those places. The third habit is listening like it matters. When you stop listening, eventually your team stops talking to you. And when you listen to hear, it shows, it proves this respect. It gives a tangible, like a respect anchor that your folks can grab a hold of. And that helps build that trust between you. But when you don't, when you stop listening, your folks have end up stop giving feedback and then stop caring. And when they do that, when they no longer give you the let's say honor of hearing their feedback, the trust has already been slipped. At that point, it's a trailing indicator that trust is slipped. So think about it. When's the last time somebody on your team told you something that was hard to hear? Not told you the good stuff about I finished the project on time and under budget, but the bad stuff. When's the last time somebody told it? And if it's been a while, take a look at this habit. You might be tripping on that stumbling block already. Fourth one is a simple 3-step. I think that you start doing this today, you'll start seeing the trust your folks have, not just your team members, but stakeholders. This works with stakeholders too. By the way, this also works with children, partners, friends. This works anywhere. Okay, simple. Commit, do, remind. The commit is specifically commit to a thing at a time. I'm going to do X before Y date. That's step one, commit. You don't make promises. There's nothing to prove. It's the proof of fulfilling a commitment that builds trust. If you're not making a commitment, then what do you? There's nothing to prove on. So you start with a commitment. Then you do that. You execute it. You knock out the commitment by the date. You stay in contact with the person that you made the commitment to, so that if it's going to slip, you advise them that it's going to slip before it does. So you commit. You do, and then here's the trick to making it to driving the most value for it. Remind them that you did what you said you do. Not in a proud, see, I told you, nasty kind of like that, but rather, you're important to me. I told you I was going to do it. We got it done. And this is not a one-time, then you're finished, but repeat this over and over and over again, and watch them be the building blocks of just giant trust with whomever you're doing with, stakeholder, team member, partner, child. I mean, it works across the board. And the fifth one we're going to talk about today is admitting mistakes quickly and publicly. Wow, that's a hard one. That's a hard one. But there's something about a leader with humility. I mean, it gets through defenses that suspicious team members put up. When you say, that was on me, that wasn't on you, Bob, that wasn't on you, Sally, that was on me. I didn't do X, Y, and Z. I should have done X, Y, and Z. Early. I heard saying a long time ago that I put in my personal vocabulary is that bad news ages like milk. Old milk, not a good thing. Bad news is the same way. Own it right away. Get on top of that bad news and declare it, admit it, apologize for it as quickly as possible, because it's not going to get any better over time. And when you fix it publicly. Don't fix it in a quiet room hoping nobody will notice. Fix it publicly. If you fix it in a private room where nobody notices, great, you fixed it. And that's the most important thing. But it's not going to help you build trust with those people who are putting up this shield that your humility will help break through. Fix it fast, fix it publicly. I challenge you to think about what it is, what mistake are you holding on to that you're hoping nobody notices or that gets fixed and you can sweep under the rug. Could this be an opportunity for you to prove out that you're trustworthy? All right, so lead like it matters, modeling the way, showing up when it's hard, both showing up when it's hard because the thing you don't want to do is something you need to do, or showing up when it's hard because you've asked your team to do something in a hard situation, at a hard time. Listen. If you don't listen, they'll stop talking. The feedback spigot gets turned off when leaders stop listening. Commit, do, remind. If you want, if you said, Russell, what's the one thing we should do today? This is the one thing that you should take away from this conversation today. Commit, do, remind. Plug it in somewhere. Plug it in at work. Plug it in with your family, and watch what it does when you commit to this cycle. And then don't avoid the mistakes. Admit them, fix them, and do so publicly. It's been my pleasure. I appreciate your time this morning. Thanks, Megan.
Nice. That was awesome. So tell us, when can we expect to see your book?
Yeah. When can you expect to see my book? It's my earnest hope is that by the third week of July, it's available on Amazon and through Ingram Spark. It's a self-published book, and the nature of self-published books is it runs at the speed of Rusty. So when you are the next step in all the processes, that's great, and it also means you're a single thread. So I think the last 3 tasks will have me finished by the second week of July, which means we'll have it available on Amazon by the third week of July.